What is happening to Bitcoin? Well, we're going to take a look at some things that's being discussed right now, and we're also going to take just a brief little look at Orchid, aka OXT. It's a little side project, altcoin I've been showing interest in. A lot of people in this community space have been showing interest in it as well. But guys, just a quick little disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment. Be sure to always do further research behind these things. And remember the golden rule of investing: never invest more than what you're willing to risk to lose. But yeah, with that being said, guys, all of you that are from my channel, it's good to see you guys again. Anybody that's new, it's nice to meet you. We are on the road trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Currently, we're at this number when I'm making the video. So if you guys would like to subscribe and be a part of an awesome community, feel free to. Be sure to hit that like button and let's talk about the news, right? So looking at Bitcoin, on a bullish side, Bitcoin rises against the USD after Mnuchin promises a second stimulus check. So the title of this sounds very promising. There's kind of a subtext to this, which I'm going to show you guys here in a second. So I'm not fully bullish on this, but overall it is a pretty good little thing. Oh, sorry, let me get rid of that little box up there. And so the good news is we've reached an agreement that if there's a deal, there are direct payments similar to last time that are in the package. So they are in talks. They said that, you know, like as long as it goes through, that there's going to be the $1,200 checks for the American citizens. A lot of people last time, what do? They pumped that out. Dumped that out into buying more Bitcoin. Coinbase saw a huge uptick in people making purchases with that. However, they specified that if, right, that's a keyword, if there's a deal. Now, is there going to be a deal? More than likely. It's really, really likely with everything that's going on in the economy and the other stuff that they're trying to entail. But theoretically, it could not happen. More than likely, if they didn't pass it, then the president would more than likely do an executive order. I just said that several times. And then there would be some kind of a push out to the actual American people for this stuff. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, but it's not a 100% deal situation. Just something to kind of take with a grain of salt. It's looking much, much more promising right now in that regard. We are seeing the price of Bitcoin down at the moment, though. It's down $10,500. You can see a big drop down here. Serious warning issued over $300,000 Bitcoin stock to flow price model. If you guys have not heard of this before, the stock to flow model has been presented by a gentleman under the alias of Plan B, and a lot of people have been using this as their baseline of proof that mathematically speaking, right, supply, demand, production rates, Bitcoin's got to keep going up and it's got to hit really high prices. And here's kind of a timeline of what it should realistically be within these time ranges, right? But then you got people that are arguing, saying things such as the whole model rests on the wrong assumption that there is cointegration, a long-running relationship between two or more variables between price and scarcity, Kruger said, who explained that without cointegration, it's nonsensical to think that Bitcoin stock to flow, a number that goes up programmatically and everybody knows what it will be at any point in time, can be used to predict price. And as you guys could take a look here on the chart, you can see in relationship for Bitcoin with silver, diamonds, gold, real estate, and essentially, yeah, Bitcoin has risen, but it's shown a lot of this kind of bulk within the same sort of total market value price. We are seeing a lot more institutional investors getting involved, and it is very likely that it could go up more, but maybe it won't go up as high as what some people think. Maybe it won't go up as high, as fast as what people think. What they're trying to say is that chart, although it's a good reference point, it's not a baseline of what is expected and for sure to happen. I mean, we could expect it to happen, but it doesn't mean it's for sure. The stock to flows model predictions should not be relied upon as an exact estimate, Bitcoin analyst Nick Umblo said via Twitter. But you know, big takeaway, and I like how they kind of ended this article here, is on a positive note. True believers will hold their Bitcoin no matter what. There are others that will get wrecked when the model is completely off, try to recoup their losses. Long term, Bitcoin still looking very bullish, looking like it's going to continue to increase in price. And hey, if you do decide to sell it in the future, statistically speaking, most people end up making a profit with Bitcoin, especially with the point in time that we're at right now. So, not a guarantee, but percentage-wise, much, much more likely. And looking at the actual Plan B update from himself over on Twitter, he showed that September red dot below August, bummer, but no worries. This also happened in January and March 2017. In fact, it marked 2017 Bitcoin phase transition. So if we pull this up right here, you can see in 2017, it started to have a little bit of an uptick and then a retracement back, but then it had a continuation up. So what he's kind of saying is that we have this pullback down here, and if it does copy of what took place in 2017, essentially during this uptrend moment, that we could see the next dot starting to form as orange, and then it has an actual rally up to the next region zone. Keep in mind, we didn't have coronavirus. We didn't have this super massive bubble effect that was peaking out on the stock market and is actually still peaking out, which is kind of surprising here. The S&P 500 showing positive gains for the day. Tesla up, NASDAQ Composite up, Dow Jones up. All of these are up at the moment. Could swap out during the later course of the day, but as of the time of the revenue, sorry, I just saw the word down there. As of the time of this video, they are up. Now, another thing to keep in mind with Bitcoin is what is right around the corner. Well, there's going to be a hash rate change, and you can see that the hash rate right now is at 139.37. And the difficulty, this is in the not millions, not the billions, but the trillions range. 19,314,000,000,000. Okay? But the next date change is in 2 days and 11 hours. And that difficulty estimate is being 19,494,000,000,000. So over 130 billion more in regards to its difficulty change. And when you have a difficulty change, that means that it's going to be more secure on the network for the blockchain, so it's less susceptible to any kind of hacks or things. Sorry, I think I might be a little bit sick. I apologize about that, guys. And then on the other hand is that the miners, they're not going to make as much. So if they're not going to be making as much, they're going to have to try and recoup some of their losses. Some people might even shut their equipment down. Now, the good news is that if they decide to shut down their equipment, another 2 weeks, the hash rate will likely pull back a little bit, making it a little bit easier for people. So it's kind of this tug of war where the weak hands are getting shaken out. Strong hands are the ones that are going to survive. So we'll have to see how this kind of plays out on the market itself. For me, with everything else that's going on in the economy, I'm still a bit bearish. I would love for the things to just skyrocket through the moon, but I'm trying to keep it as real as possible, you know. I look promising. I look to the promising future. But in the immediacy, oh, geez, come on, baby. There's that little green mark that I keep deleting, and it always comes back. I need to Google how to make sure that when I delete that, it just stays away. And yeah, looking right now, we have the 21 EMA. You can actually see that we've had a retracement pull back down, not only through the 21 EMA, but this large candle has even shown itself to push down below the support. And unfortunately, it's still down below the support. We're seeing a little bit of a climb back up. You can see the wicks have happened here. These had retracements down below, but were able to recover and reposition themselves. And this was just kind of bouncing right along that 21 EMA. And we're seeing a lot of that consolidation, right? Now, the last time that we had some major consolidation, pushing back here around June, right? After it held through this region for a while, what ended up happening? It actually became bullish and exploded. The price started shooting up quite dramatically, and it reached above the $10,000 range. And then now we've had our longest, we're looking into that longest period of time where we're above $10,000 and establishing above $10,000 as a form of support. But the price is still dropping down further and further. The question is it going to dip below $10,000 and break? And once we go above $10,000, we're going to have to try and reestablish a whole new record again and essentially break that whole biased opinion about that we're never going to go below $10,000 again. Which, can we be honest, by the way, when people say that, it kind of feels like a curse. Like, oh, it's never going to go down below. And what happens? It does. The economy is weird right now. Stuff is weird, right? Weird stuff's happening. Stop saying ridiculous remarks, trying to guarantee situations, okay? Market's unpredictable. RSI is dipping down a little bit. We can actually see that with this large candle, we still have another 7 hours on the daily as of the time of this video. So there's plenty more room for this volume. It could retrace itself back up. Ideally, I would like to see this close above the actual support line. Even if it doesn't, I wouldn't worry too much. You can see that it did happen down here, and then it was followed up the next day with a big buy order. And when you got big institutions like Grayscale that are just gobbling up all the kinds of Bitcoin, they might be looking at this and saying, hey, we got another buy opportunity. Now, taking a look over at the Orchid, just briefly giving you guys an update on this. The tops of these wicks for the last 2 days, today and yesterday, got very close to the 21 EMA, almost got it, and then it said nope, and it just yeeted itself right across the board, going down below the 0.5 level, starting to work its way down into the 0.382. I've still got a buy order myself at 26 cents. Just for full transparency, I want to try and accumulate some more. I've got a nice little bag that's going on this already, and I do believe very firmly in the project. And I'm hodling right now. If I sold my stuff, I would take a loss, right? It's a personal project that I'm interested in. A lot of you guys, a lot of us, I mean, I am too, in Bitcoin are interested there. So I want to make sure I cover and update you guys in stuff that's relevant to that. And I like to throw these little side projects in sometimes, especially if there's some big gainers on some other crypto. Just kind of taking a look and seeing, is that a little gem that's starting to grow right there? Do we need to keep more of an eye on it? Do I need to update you guys more on it? We do what we can, right? So this right here, if it pushes down below, we could see it testing another region zone of 26 cents. As I mentioned previously in videos, the low support side has been forming a little bit higher each time. So back on September 18th, it was around 0.25. And then the next point was around just a little bit higher than that. And the next day, a little bit higher. So we might even see it testing a little bit higher than the 26 cent range. If Bitcoin has a further drop, especially I think if Bitcoin drops below $10,000, then we could see a large correction for not just Orchid, but for a lot of different cryptocurrencies. And do not panic, guys. Remember, like I said in the beginning of the video, golden rule of investing, never invest more than what you're willing to risk to lose, right? Well, also keep in mind that these dips, that's when you're supposed to buy things. You can dollar cost average out. You buy low and you sell high. It's only going to go low either when the project first starts and you didn't miss the boat, right? But hey, if you missed the boat when it first started, you could very easily say, well, I missed the boat for Bitcoin. Why should I invest in Bitcoin? But you got to look at it in a long-term perspective. If Bitcoin does go to $100,000, you're going to kick yourself in the butt for not having gotten it at $10,000. That's a 10 times increase on your price, right? Whatever you put in, 10 bucks, now it's worth 100. Same thing with a price project like Orchid. And you look at it historically, we have room to grow and to develop with this project. And there's a lot of interesting stuff that's going on with this. I'm actually really wondering if I am sick. And yeah, guys, so I would say just kind of keep an eye out on this on the daily. If this continues to push sideways as it has been, it's pulled down a little bit, so it's got more region zone. It's kind of delaying this situation, which I find a little bit interesting. But if it does decide to continue staying just in the same region zone, we're looking at another day to 2 days, 3 days at the most before it breaks above the resistance and we should see some sort of a price movement, especially I would say in the volume levels with this. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. If it decides to have a further continuation down, well, then it's delaying it. I mean, it has way more room to continue down, going down this way. But by doing so, you're looking at it testing all the way down to the previous levels, which I would be really, really shocked if it did something like this personally, now that it's actually on several major exchanges since it was last at for those prices. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to wrap this up because I got the sniffles. And again, guys, I'm doing the best that I can to make quality content for you guys, and I hope you enjoy these videos. If you are new, feel free to subscribe. Drop a comment down below, guys. Let me know what you think about all this stuff. If there's anything interesting of a new project and I get enough requests from you guys, then I could definitely look into the future. Let's try to get this video to 50 likes if we can. Every like helps. Every comment helps. It gets us a little bit higher in the search and discoverability. Helps the channel out, helps the information go out. You guys are absolutely awesome. You can share this too if you want. But thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.